Hello, class. Welcome to week 11. I can't believe it's already November. We're getting into the holiday season. It's the start of Native American Heritage Month here at ASU. So I'm really excited about this month, and we are winding down. I can't believe that it's gone by so fast. And so we're looking at ending the semester strong. And for this module number 11, we'll be focusing on social insurance. Some key takeaways that we want you to have around social insurance and the Social Security Act is that it established some of the most enduring social welfare programs in the United States. And as you read Chapter 9, you will read through the history. A lot of it we've already discussed. Some of our um, chapters on social welfare programs and the history of social welfare talked about Social Security and why it's such a seminal program and act that happened in 1934. And so uh, it is a well-supported program around social insurance. But there's another piece to the Social Security Act, which is public assistance, which doesn't get so much support. And that's what you're going to read about in this chapter, chapter 9. And so it's really important for you to know about Social Security because many of the services and programs that are offered through this act are available to your clients. And so it is important to be familiar with all of the different sections, parts, and titles of Social Security because you will need to be familiar with, especially if you're doing case management, on how people apply and access these services. But not just for your clients, for you, because Social Security, the insurance aspect of Social Security is your social safety net. So some of the programs around social insurance include um, if you were to be suddenly unemployed, um, unemployment that was out of your control, say that you got laid off, what are you going to do? Well, you could apply for unemployment insurance. So that's through Social Security. Or if there was an incident where you became unable to work, there's disability insurance through Social Security. And so that's the safety net that was uh, established through the Social Security Act. And you can, on page 253, you can see box 9.2 describes the differences between the social insurance programs and the public assistance programs. So if you ever worked and you looked at your paycheck and you think, man, like, why are they taking out so much taxes from my paycheck? Well, if you look under there, there's the FICA Social Security tax, which takes out um, a tax from you as a worker, but your employer also pays and matches that. And what happens with that money is it gets put into the Social Security Trust Fund, and when you become to retirement age, you should be able to access those because you paid into the system. But as you read through the chapter, you'll realize that the future of Social Security is unclear due to changes in the working and retiring populations. What I mean by that is that we have a large outflux of people that are working, that are retiring, that are going into the retirement system. And that's primarily what people call the baby boomers, um, and people that were born in between 1945 and 1960. So those folks are retiring, and the number of workers that are in the system may not be enough to put money into the system so to relieve the burden on the Social Security Trust Fund because of the number of workers we have now and the number of workers that are retiring. And so policymakers are going to have to really think about this. You, as a young individual are really going to have to think about what is the future, what are the options. The chapter talks about privatization, raising the maximum amount that can be taxed because it is capped at 100. I believe it's 133,000. So if somebody makes $300,000 a year, 100 that amount is taxed up to 133,000. So any amount that they make after that is not taxed by Social Security. We'll see a lot of discussion on it during the presidential debates as well. And so this is something that's really important. Pay attention to it. It has an impact on all of our futures. Let's talk about the assignment for this week. So, well, for part one, you're going to complete this Social Security worksheet. Just a hint, read through the assignment. You want to fill in those missing columns. So what does DI stand for? You write it here. And what does it provide? You write it in here. You want to download it and write it in Word. And so look on page 251 of your text, and a lot of the answers are provided in that chart. I believe it's chart 9.1. Use your text. The answers are there. But I've also added some bonus sections for a total of 3 points possible. And this will require you to do a little bit more research into Social Security and some of the Title IV subsections. Okay, and the reason why I did that is to give you an opportunity to earn extra points, but also I know there's a lot of you that are in the child welfare program. If you are part of the DCS stipend program, your tuition is getting paid through Social Security, so it does impact you. It is important to know about. So you'll have an opportunity to earn extra points. There's going to be 6 different sub items here that you can answer. You'll put the name of the program and what does it provide or who does it serve. And after you do that, turn that in, and then you'll have a discussion board. So choose one of the following people, either a client, coworker, or friend. If you were to explain Social Security to that person, what would you tell them? What's important for that person to know, and how may it affect that person? And then you want to provide 2 thoughtful responses to get your points on the discussion board. Next steps, read chapter 9 of your text and complete the assignment worksheet and the discussion board by next Sunday, November 10th. And I do want to make an announcement. I'm going to give you an opportunity to revise your Module 4. If you go into the assignment that you submitted, you will see the rubric. For those of you that don't have a grade, I'm going to go ahead and put the grades in. You'll see the rubric. You'll see what score that you were going to get, and you'll have comments in there. If you don't see any comments in the rubric, it's probably because the paper was too long, so it needs to be narrowed down. And so I'm going to go ahead and grade those. And then what you'll need to do in order to submit a revision, I'm going to show you this worksheet right now, is to submit a worksheet. And so this will help you narrow down your scopus and focus. I think because a lot of you went in and just started writing and did more academic style writing, which you are trained to do, which we are teaching you how to do. That's kind of the approach that you took. But with policy writing, you really want to be concise. You want to keep your commentary at a minimum and just get straight to the problem, and then who supports and who's in favor, who opposes, and the underlying causes of the problem. So this is that critical social welfare policy analysis. So this worksheet, you just want to enter into those boxes. You don't want to enter any more. Okay, so that'll help you keep your text concise. And then you're just going to go down and list some of the public policy that addresses the problem, analyze the power imbalance. So you've done this already before if you turned it in. And then you have 3 sources other than the textbook that you have to cite. If you didn't include all 3 of your references, then you didn't get full points for that. And for some of you, I'll probably do another video on how to cite online articles, because I saw some consistent need for some clarification on that. I put a resource here. Click on it. This is my go-to. I used to go to this a lot as a grad student. And so this is the OWL, Purdue OWL, really great resource. It tells you how to write an APA style, and it also tells you how to do references. So for those of you that are using a lot of electronic sources, which most of you are, you still have to list the author. Okay. If there is no author, you would write the title of the web page or the article. And so look at this. This is a really good resource. And so with that being said, I'd like to wish you a good week. And as usual, please let me know if you have any questions. And I'll put more information out tomorrow about the revision. Have a great week. Take care.